All right, let's dive in today. We're taking a deep dive into Angel Vehuel and how their energy can help us unlock, I don't know, maybe like a deeper confidence within ourselves, right?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, and you've given me this really fascinating mix of sources here. We've got angel readings, we've got occult encyclopedias, we've even got some like personal development books in here. So I'm pretty excited to see what all of these sources kind of reveal about Vehuel and how we can actually connect with them
Yeah.
to kind of cultivate a greater sense of, I guess, self-assurance, right? Like feeling good about ourselves, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think one thing that is really interesting from the start is just that Vihil seems to embody a really unique blend of energies.
Yeah.
Their name translates to the great and exalted God, and they're the 49th Kabbalistic angel. They belong to the Principalities choir.
Principalities choir. Now, what does that even tell us about Vehuel?
Yeah. That means that they're considered like a high-ranking angel, right? And they're associated with divine purpose and guiding us towards fulfilling our potential. It really suggests that Vehuel's guidance can help us align with our true purpose in life
Oh, okay.
and kind of make decisions that are in harmony with our, I guess, like our highest good,
Mm-hmm.
which can definitely boost confidence. And then on top of that, get this, Vehuel's also linked with both Venus,
Oh,
the planet of harmony and beauty, and Uranus,
oh, wow.
the planet of originality and innovation.
That's a very interesting combination.
Yeah.
Okay. So Venus, right? We're talking about love. We're talking about beauty.
Yeah,
And then Uranus, that's like breaking boundaries. That's being unique, being different.
right.
What does that say about Vehuel's influence, having those two together?
Yeah, it's a really cool combo. It suggests that Veal may be able to help us embrace our individuality and express ourselves authentically, which is such a key ingredient, I think, for building genuine confidence,
Yeah, sure.
like not trying to be somebody that we're not. Right. And some sources even describe them as compassionate and nurturing, promoting healing and harmony in our relationships. One source even said that they can help to cultivate gratitude.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So, okay, so loving ourselves, appreciating what we have, nurturing our relationships, all these things are very much connected to building confidence.
Right, absolutely.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
But how does Vehuel, specifically connect to that feeling of confidence?
Well, several sources associate Vehuel with grandeur, elevation, and upliftment.
Hmm.
So you could think of Vehuel as your personal cheerleader,
Okay.
helping you swap those negative thoughts for a more positive and empowered mindset.
Okay.
So instead of feeling stuck in worry or self-doubt, like, I can't do this,
Right.
you can approach challenges with, maybe optimism and a sense of, I can do this.
I love that, like they're a cosmic confidence coach or something like that.
Exactly.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's one source actually that describes Vehuel as helping us to see far, see very far. And it's almost like they're giving us these magic binoculars or something.
Exactly. It's like they're your own personal GPS for life,
Oh, I like that.
helping you navigate challenges and stay focused on your goals, even when you feel lost. They can help us to see the bigger picture, including the detours, right?
Oh,
And that
mhm.
ultimate destination. And that kind of perspective, I think, can be a real game changer when it comes to confidence.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because if you know where you're going, even if there's bumps along the way, I think that definitely helps you feel a little bit more confident in the journey.
For sure.
But what about those times, where we're feeling really down or feeling negative or in a bad mood? Can Vehuel help with that too?
Yeah, well, several sources actually talk about how Veal's energy can combat sorrow and negativity and really help replace those feelings with enthusiasm and joy and patience and hope and optimism.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So it's like they can help us shift our perspective and see the good, even in those kind of tough times. And that can definitely help boost, I think, our resilience and our own self-belief, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I like that. This is really interesting.
And this brings us to another interesting point. Vehuel is considered a guide and protector for those born between November 23rd and 27th, as well as individuals born at specific times of day.
Oh, really? So for those listeners who fall into those categories, Vehuel might be an especially strong presence in their lives.
That's the idea.
That's interesting. Well, I'm curious, how can we all kind of tap into this empowering energy? How can we do this?
Well, there are a lot of different practices that people use to connect with Vehuel.
Okay.
Some sources suggest meditation, spending time in nature, creating a peaceful space for yourself, repeating mantras, and even using gemstone like leopard skin jasper.
Gemstones. Okay, now that's something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, right. So there's a lot of different ways to connect.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But now there's a beautiful prayer that's dedicated to Vehuel that I think really captures the essence of their uplifting energy.
Okay.
And I'd love to kind of dive into some of the specific language in this prayer and see how it connects to building confidence.
Okay, let's do it. I'm ready for some inspiration.
All right. So the prayer asks Vehuel to guide us towards the high mountains, not the low valleys, and to hoist us up to unreachable peaks beyond the clouds towards the pure ether of the vault of heaven.
Wow. That's powerful. I'm getting chills just hearing those words.
It's an amazing imagery, right?
Yeah.
It really emphasizes how Vehuel can help us rise above our limitations and approach life with a sense of grandeur and purpose, which I think can definitely translate to greater confidence in ourselves.
Wow, that prayer is so inspiring. It really does paint this like really vivid picture of Vehuel's uplifting energy. We talk about a few different fascinating ways to connect with Vehuel. We were talking about spending time in nature. We talked about using gemstones. We talked about creating a sacred space for yourself.
Right.
But I'm kind of curious, how do those practices actually help us connect? Like, what's the point of doing those things?
Yeah, so one of the sources, it's called Guardian Angel Vehuel, the protector of nature and fertility angelic thrones. And it really emphasizes the importance of creating a sacred space for meditation or prayer.
So it's like creating a little sanctuary where you can really focus on connecting with Vehuel's energy. What does that even look like, by the way?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy, you know?
Right.
You could light some candles, burn some incense, or
Sure.
even just arrange some flowers or crystals in a way that feels special to you, you know?
Right.
The key is just to create an environment that feels peaceful and conducive to connecting with your inner self and with Vehuel's guidance.
Yeah, I love that. Just it's a really simple way to create that space for intention and reflection, right?
Totally.
Yeah. What about spending time in nature? We talked about how Vehuel is associated with Venus, which is all about beauty and harmony.
Right.
But how does that translate to actually connecting with them? Like outdoors?
Yeah, so Vehuel's also connected with agriculture,
Oh, interesting.
which is really all about, working with the earth and really getting your hands in the dirt and all that.
Yeah.
So this source suggests that being in nature, whether that's taking a walk in the park or gardening, or even just sitting under a tree, can help you feel more grounded and more receptive to Vehuel's energy. It's almost like you're tuning in
Right.
to a frequency that's always there,
Okay.
but we can get really distracted from it in our busy lives.
You know, that's so true. Even a short walk in the park can really help me personally clear my head
Yeah.
and just feel a little bit more connected to something, bigger than myself. It's like a little reset button for my mind and my spirit. So what about these gemstones we were mentioning? How can they help us connect with Vehuel?
Yeah, so one source that we have here, Guardian Angel Vehuel Celeste Angelic Medium, recommends working with leopard skin jasper
Okay.
and emerald. Leopard skin jasper is believed to enhance spiritual exploration and creative visualization, while emerald is associated with healing and harmony.
Oh, wow.
And these are all qualities, of course, that are really connected to Vehuel's energy.
That's fascinating how these different tools and practices can kind of help us tap into, I don't know, that angelic energy in a way.
Yeah, totally.
So by wearing those gemstones or maybe incorporating them into our meditation practice, we can potentially strengthen our connection with Vehuel.
That's the idea. And of course, prayer and mantras are super powerful tools for connecting with angelic energy.
Right.
We touched on that prayer to Vehuel earlier, but I'd love to actually go back to the specific language in that prayer.
Yes, let's unpack that prayer a little bit more. There was a lot of powerful imagery in there about reaching for the high mountains and breathing in the angelic scent and all that,
Yeah.
How does all that language tie into confidence building?
One line actually asks Vehuel to guide our aspirations towards that which is worthy and noble, towards all that is worthy of your holy name, which I think suggests that Vehuel can help us align our goals and our actions with our highest values and aspirations, which can be incredibly empowering.
Yeah.
It's really about stepping into our authenticity, I think,
Right.
and pursuing a path that truly resonates with who we are at our core.
It's like Vehuel helps us to connect with that, I don't know, like that inner compass,
Right.
that
Yeah.
sense of knowing what truly matters to us. And then when we're actually living in alignment with our values, our confidence naturally grows from there.
For sure.
That makes sense.
And remember that phrase about smelling in my breath the angelic scent of your transcendence? That really points to, I think, that idea of elevation and spiritual connection, allowing us to rise above limitations and tap into a higher level of awareness.
It's like gaining that higher perspective that we talked about.
Exactly.
That Vehuel scroll helps us to see far, see very far.
Exactly.
So by connecting with Vehuel, we gain a broader view. We get a clearer sense of purpose.
Right.
And then we also have that courage to pursue our dreams with confidence.
Absolutely. The prayer even goes on to say, guide my steps towards the high mountains, but never towards the low valleys.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Yeah, it's a really powerful imagery.
Yeah.
It speaks to that idea of striving for excellence, aiming high, and refusing to settle for mediocrity.
I love that. It's about pushing beyond those, like those self-imposed limitations.
Totally.
And just recognizing that we're capable of so much more than we often believe, right?
Right.
And that belief in ourselves, that's what fuels true confidence. And then the prayer concludes with this really beautiful statement. It says, make your attributes, gifts, and powers shine within me, not to decorate my vanity, but to bear witness here down below to your radiant presence.
It's so beautiful.
It is really beautiful. It's about recognizing our own inherent worth and potential. Not to inflate our egos or anything like that, but to actually share our own unique gifts with the world.
Yeah.
It's like we each have a light to shine, and Vehuel can help us find that light and let it radiate outward.
That's beautifully said. It really highlights that transformative power of connecting with angelic energy.
Yeah.
And by aligning ourselves with Vehuel's attributes of grandeur and upliftment and compassion, we can unlock our own inner strength and confidence, which I think allows us to live more fulfilling and purpose-driven lives.
This has been such an insightful exploration of Vehuel's energy and how it can help us cultivate a greater sense of confidence.
Yeah.
But we haven't really talked about, those times when we face setbacks or when we face challenges or when things aren't going our way.
Right.
How can Vehuel's energy help us navigate those moments and, and keep our confidence when things get tough?
That's a great question. I think it leads us perfectly into the next part of our deep dive, where we'll explore how Vehuel's energy can help us overcome obstacles, release limiting beliefs, and really cultivate resilience in the face of adversity.
So welcome back to our final deep dive here, going into the world of Angel Vehuel. We've been exploring their really unique energy, different ways that we can connect with them. But as we all know, right, life isn't always smooth sailing.
Yes, I know.
Setbacks and challenges, they're bound to happen. So how can Vehuel's energy help us stay confident when things get tough, when we're going through those moments?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Life throws us curveballs all the time. But Vehuel's energy can really help us, navigate those rough patches, And one source we have here, it's called Vehuel, the Angel of Elevation, your guide to overcoming life's obstacles and achieving spiritual enlightenment. And it talks about how Vehuel actually teaches us to view those challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth.
That's such a helpful reframing, right? Because instead of seeing challenges as failures, we can actually start to see them as like stepping stones.
Totally.
Becoming more confident and more resilient versions of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like those detours we were talking about before, right?
Right.
Sometimes they lead us to something even better than we initially planned.
Exactly, yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So Vehuel's energy, I think, really helps us rise above that fear and doubt that so often accompanies, setbacks and challenges.
Right.
It encourages us to focus on the lessons learned and the growth that comes from overcoming obstacles.
So instead of getting caught up in like a spiral of negativity and like, woe is me and all that,
right,
we can try to tap into Vehuel's uplifting energy to maybe see the situation from a more empowered perspective.
Exactly. And remember that whole seeing far, see very far thing.
Yeah.
That can be so valuable during those challenging times because it allows us to see beyond the immediate difficulty and trust that this too shall pass,
Right. It's like Vehuel's whispering to us and saying, you've got this. This is just a temporary detour. And you have the strength to navigate it or something like that.
Exactly. And one really practical technique that I think resonates with Vehuel's energy is the use of affirmations.
Oh, affirmations. Right. We talked about those before.
Yeah.
How do those work again? Remind me.
Yeah. So affirmations are basically those positive statements that we repeat to ourselves, almost like we're rewiring our brains for success.
Okay.
So instead of focusing on those negative thoughts that we all have sometimes, like, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, we replace them with more empowering statements like, I am capable and worthy of success, or I'm strong and resilient.
Okay. So by consistently repeating those positive affirmations, we're going to start to actually believe them on a deeper level.
That's the idea.
It's like planting these seeds of confidence in our minds.
Exactly. And actually, a lot of sources suggest that Veil's energy can really supercharge the effectiveness of those
Oh,
affirmations
wow.
and help us actually embody those qualities that we're affirming.
That makes total sense given Veal's connection to, grandeur and elevation and upliftment.
Absolutely.
It's like they're giving our affirmations this extra boost of confidence-building
Oh,
energy, right?
totally.
What else can we do when we're facing those challenges, though?
Well, Veil's energy really encourages us to cultivate gratitude, even in the midst of those difficulties.
Hmm.
And remember, they're so closely linked to Venus, which is all about harmony and beauty.
Right. So even when things are really tough, there are still things to be grateful for.
Absolutely. And focusing on gratitude, even if it's just for like small things, it helps to shift our energy away from the negative and towards the positive. And that can make a big difference, I think, in our overall well-being and our resilience.
Yeah, it's like Veal's reminding us to look for those silver linings,
Yeah,
right? Like those little moments of beauty and grace, even when things feel really dark,
totally.
and just noticing those things. I think it can really help us to stay hopeful and keep moving forward, right?
Absolutely. And one final thought for you. If Yahul can help us to see those, detours as opportunities for growth, then maybe true confidence isn't about avoiding challenges altogether.
Hmm. That's an interesting thought. So it's more about embracing those unexpected twists and turns.
Exactly. Each experience that we have, even the challenging ones, they shape us into stronger, more resilient individuals.
I love that. And with that resilience comes a deeper, a more unshakable sense of confidence. A confidence that, isn't so easily rattled by outside circumstances or, by what other people think or anything like that.
You got to.
Well, this deep dive has been such a transformative journey. We've uncovered, Veal's really unique energy. We've explored a lot of practical ways to connect with their guidance, and we even learned to see challenges in a whole new light.
Yeah. We really hope this exploration has inspired you to connect with Angel Vehuel and discover how their energy can help you to cultivate a greater sense of confidence and purpose in your own life.
And remember, everyone, true confidence isn't about perfection or avoiding challenges. It's about embracing the journey with all of its ups and downs, knowing that you have that inner strength and resilience to overcome any obstacle, right?
Right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Angel Vehuel.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Until next time, keep seeking, keep exploring, and keep believing in your own boundless potential.